Okay, so today I'll be taking the cash management module or option as you call it. So let's look into today's agenda, which is we'll be covering overview of cash management, integration with other modules or options. Then we'll look into the prerequisites of cash management and we'll see what Par's rule is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start. Okay. See, Oracle Cash Management basically is an open integrated solution for managing your company or enterprise, okay, with the cash cycle. In addition to integrating with other options or modules from Oracle Fusion, the Oracle Cash Management is opens it's an open interface, okay, which allows the company to easily integrate with external systems, giving timely
Mhm.
access. You can see here, right, the external systems, okay, giving access to cash information. So companies, those practicing and prepare, cash forecast, they can project cash flows from Oracle General Ledger. Okay, Oracle here, Oracle General Ledger, Oracle receivables, okay, and your Oracle payables and payroll, okay, and also your Oracle projects and Oracle purchasing. So everything is linked with your cash management, basically integrated with your cash management. So the forecasting open interface allows you to also project cash flows from external systems with the forecasting open interfaces distributed data support. Okay, and with the help of that, you can generate a forecast that combines, transaction information from both your local and remote databases, which may, spread across your regions. So basically, if you've seen all the modules, they have these, interfaces where you can, load in system, with all your external sources and your internal sources as well. And they integrate with each other module so that finally, all your forecasts are and your reports are generated ultimately, for a decision making purpose and to make your business, run smoothly on a day-to-day basis. Okay.
Okay.
So this Oracle Cash Management lets you, automatically or manually record and reconcile bank statements. Okay, and matching against system transactions using rules and tolerance levels. See, tolerance level. What do you mean by tolerance? Basically, on a general terminology, what is tolerance? Anybody? No idea.
Mm,
See,
Tolerance.
you have to set, see, normal rules you'll put. Okay, then what is this tolerance level along with the rules? Rules are okay that you put, you set up, you do a setup and all that. What is tolerance?
Like if anyone breaks it, like amount
Hmm.
of angry level.
Hmm. Yeah, basically, see, in a general sense, tolerance means allowing or permitting,
Yeah.
acceptance of an action, basically. Okay, so
Act
you
of following
uh,
something.
yeah. So basically, you're allowing to a certain extent, and that is your tolerance level. Beyond this, you put a, you make a setup in such a way that you will get a warning or something like that. Okay. Of course, rules are also based on that only, but along with that, you have this sort tolerance levels. Okay. Now, these tolerance rules enables you to specify date and amount tolerances. Okay, that prevent or warn you when your say let's reconciliation, breaches. You suppose you put certain rule that okay, these reconciliation needs to happen on certain rules. When that is breached, breach meaning the act of breaking an agreement or a code of conduct, okay, in general sense. So when that is broken, so this tolerance level will give you an signal or a warning, okay, saying that this has happened. Now see, as I mentioned, as you just mentioned, you have two tolerances, which is your date tolerance and your amount tolerances. So amount tolerances are often used when reconciling foreign currency. Okay, these are the transactions where there may be differences due to rounding or for fluctuations in the conversion rates. Okay, or you can even, they can also be used if a bank includes a processing fee in the bank statement line amount. So you can use those amount tolerances in the setup, okay, of your cash management. Then you have the date tolerance. Date tolerances are primarily used for, checks that may be issued, like in a certain period, okay, these line transactions will be, processed over certain period. It will be, it will give you it has gone beyond your time or the date that you mentioned, it will give you a warning, a signal there. Okay, so that is your amount tolerance and your date tolerance. Okay, so then you can even review and correct any import validation or reconciliation errors online. So this Oracle cache management can automatically reconcile correcting statement lines against error statement, and provide an audit trail. Now, see, what is audit trail? Audit trail is a record of the changes that have been made to a database or file. Okay, so basically to verify your correction of bank errors. Like suppose there's a business purchase, so each documented step, taken makes the audit trail. So from the time of the activity has begun till the time, it has ended, that record, okay, that document, step by step document, is called your audit trail. So cash management also provides an audit trail. Okay,
Okay.
so Oracle Cash Management supports electronically downloading of bank statements from the bank. Okay, then the bank statement loader program supports standard formats such as, this BIA2, Swift 940, Edifact. These are all your formats, standard formats, okay, which the through which your bank statements are loaded into the system, into your cash management. Now this BAI2 stands for Bank Administration Institute. Okay, this is basically a file format for performing electronic cash management, balance reporting. Okay, so I'll just show you how the format looks like. See, this is your BAI file. Okay, text, this is how it looks when you load it in the system. It shows in this format for you.
Oh,
Okay, like this is your file header 01, group header. This is more technical, but it's good to know how it happens, how the system works. So this is how your BAI format looks like. Okay, and then you have your Swift 940. Now, what is Swift? Finance student, I mean, you must be knowing, no, Swift transactions, as people generally tell you. What do you mean by Swift? Have you heard? It's a banking terminology. Ravi, do you know about it?
no, ma'am.
Okay, fine. See, SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Okay, they're basically also known as international wires. So they're a type of an
Oh,
international transfer sent via the international payment network. Okay, so this is what your Swift 940 is. Under that, you get this MT 940, which is a format used by the Swift network to send and receive and end of day bank statements. So this MT means message type. Okay, so these are usually the terminologies used by companies when they're importing your bank statements into your cash management system. Okay, so these are the file formats. So there's another file format called as Edifact. Now this is the abbreviation of Edifact is electronic data interchange. Okay, for administration, commerce, and transport. Okay, so this is basically a global set of rules defined by the UN. Okay, of the
okay.
intercompany electronic data exchange between two or more business partners via EDI. EDI meaning electronic data interchange. Okay, and then you have XML is something which you have usually heard a lot, which is called as the extensible markup language. This is a markup language that defines a set of rules for encoding documents in a format that is that is both human readable and machine readable. Okay, so this is how this format looks like. So these are all loaded into your, sorry, 1 second. These are all loaded into your system, the cash management, okay, through the bank statement open interface. Okay, and these and all with all whatever rules that you set up your cash management, everything is integrated with all the other options, okay, of your financials, and the regular transactions keeps taking place. Okay, so the bank statements are reconciled with payments in Oracle payables, and then Oracle payroll receipts in Oracle receivables, and journal entries in Oracle General Ledger. So you can also reconcile with payments and receipts from other systems, including settlements from your Oracle Treasury using the reconciliation open interface. So this is basically the overview of how the whole cash management works. Okay, any doubts here? And it's pretty explanatory as to how it is, right? I had even covered cash, part of cash management in AP also, I think.
Yes,
I don't know whether you remember that. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, we'll see how does cash management integrate with other modules. So see, basically, what is bank reconciliation? Anybody just give me a general idea of what bank reconciliation means? Any idea,
like
Durai?
matching statements
Yeah.
with the GL reconciliation statement with some GL
Process
and all.
by which the bank account balance in an
In
entity's book of
yeah,
account.
that is the
Transfer
definition.
to the
Correct. That's
balance.
correct. Okay. So basically, reconciliation means settling or resolving something. So bank reconciliation is a process wherein the bank account balance of a company for company's books of accounts is reconciled. Okay. So to the balance reported by the financial state institution in the most recent bank statement provided to that company. So it has to reconcile wherever the differences are happening, like any difference between two figures from different accounts or something needs to be examined and rectified. So in Oracle Cash Management, once you have entered detailed bank, statement information into CM, and that is your cash management, you must reconcile with your system transactions. Okay, so that's basically your bank reconciliation. So now cash management mainly deals with loading of bank statements. Okay, and the system will initiate a matching process. Okay, it will initiate a matching process. Either it can be automatic, okay, or it can be manual. So that actually matches the lines in that bank statement versus transactions in the payables, receivables, and your payroll modules. Okay, so it does the matching of that. So for the payroll module, those transactions are payments made to the employees of your organization, right? So those are your payroll transactions. Then for receivables, it will be looking at a customer payments, money that has been deposited in the bank account. So the process is like you sold services or products to your customer, then you send a bill, after which the customer pays the bill, then the money is deposited into the bank. Now you want to ensure that those customer payments or customer payment batches in receivables against bank statement lines are reconciled. Okay, because definitely there will be some mismatch happening on a day-to-day basis. Either it's a human error or some something when the date differs or something, so there'll be errors, so that reconciliation has to happen. Okay, and for the payables module, you are going to be reconciling against payments that you have made to your suppliers. So those payment transactions are found in the payable modules. Okay, so there is also the ability to load, as I just mentioned in the previous slide, that you load from your external entry transactions, such as your bank charges or your bank transfers or your interest, your fees, etc. So these external entry transactions are needed to be accounted, and then it will be pushed to your general ledger. Okay, so this is how basically your reconciliation happens. Then after that, what you do is you will have to run the program called as bank statement transaction creation. Okay, to generate accounting information for these transactions and create a journal entry, then transfer it to the general ledger. Okay, that is once that the previous thing that I was talking about was your external transactions. Okay, and these are your program which runs, which there is a program called as bank statement transaction creation. Okay, which you'll be seeing in the instance. So once you run that program, so all the transactions will be automatically transferred into your general ledger. And over and above that, there is a new feature that gives the ability to automatically reconcile against the GL journal. See, in the prior releases, you could only reconcile, okay, to AP, AR, and your payroll. But in certain situations now, with the fresh the new release, you can load information straight into your GL, and then you can reconcile that information against a bank statement. Earlier, what used to happen is they used to reconcile in each of these options or modules. Okay, now there is in certain scenarios you can directly post those journals into your general ledger, and you can do a reconciliation in general ledger. So an example for this would be, say that the organization might do its payroll outside of Oracle, from third party payroll applications. It doesn't do in your payroll, in the Fusion instance. There is a payroll also under HCM, Human Capital Management. Okay, usually people do it if they have opted for HCM. They do the payroll related activities in the in the system itself. But suppose in an example where it does its payroll outside, I mean it is outsourced to a third party, okay, such as ADP. It's a very famous incorporation, I mean it's a company. ADP mainly stands for Automatic Data Processing, INC. So it is basically a global business outsourcing service provider, which is headquartered in New Jersey. So those people, do the payroll, and so from there you can load your payroll transactions directly in the form of journal to your general ledger. Then you can reconcile against it. So this is a new feature which has been, provided in the Fusion. Okay, Ravi just entered. Okay. Okay, so this is how it is. So this is a new feature provided in the Oracle Cash Management, wherein you can do your directly send your transactions in the form of journals to your general ledger and reconcile it in your general ledger. Okay, so that you got it right? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. You got logged out, is it, Ravi?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Network issue.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Fine. And what happened? My system has freezed. Great. Shall I just pause recording 1 second? Okay. Fine. Now we'll look into the prerequisites which are needed for the cash management process. So one of the main configurations for cash management is that you have to define banks, branches, and the actual bank accounts. Now, I think I remember taking this portion in the AP class. Okay, but anyways, we'll just go through this. Do you remember that I had spoken about these 3 prerequisites? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, no problem. I'll just take it once again. So the bank and the branch information is stored in your trading community model. Now, what is trading community model? I remember explaining this. Anybody? Did I tell me? Ravi, you remember?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is it?
It's
See, basically, this is part of,
it allows
allows what?
information about the
manage complex
customers in
information
party.
about the party.
Correct. So basically, this is part of TCM is part of TCA. TCA is what? TCA is Trading Community Architecture. So this is basically a data model which allows you to manage complex information, right, about your
Okay.
customers.
Customer.
Okay, yeah, and all that. So everything is stored in this TCA. Okay. So then, as I said, the bank and branch information is stored in this trading community model. Okay, table in the trading community model tables, where the account is stored in cash management tables. So then you specify
Okay.
which option, like payables or receivables and payroll, are going to use a bank account. Okay, it can be one or two or all the three modules can create the bank branches and bank account information using the rapid implementation process or manually from the application. Okay, they can have either one account, wherein one account will take care of all your three options, or you can have a separate account for each of these options. Okay, so then you can process this with the help of rapid implementation. So what is rapid implementation? I remember sir explaining it to you. Anybody wants to give any insight about it? What is rapid implementation?
It's cross validation, right? Like,
No. See, rapid implementation is a way to, configure your financial enterprise. In a very,
okay.
basically it's a financial reporting structure. It helps you to quickly and effectively, use all these predefined Excel workbook sheets. Are directly loaded, like all your
Mm-hmm.
enterprise. Now we see, you remember, we always go through, we create an implementation project, and then you do all the legal entity, you do the setup in the system. But with the rapid implementation, everything is put in your Excel sheet, and that is directly loaded into your system. So you need not do a setup individually and separately. So that is your rapid implementation. Can you relate that word rapid with your the word implementation? So you don't have to,
Yeah, yeah.
step by step do a setup of everything. This you can automatically load
Once.
everything, yeah, at once. You can load it in your Excel sheet and load it in the system, and everything is done for you. So this also can be done with your rapid implementation, right? Okay. Then we have your, let's see the next slide, which is how does your cash management work? So ideally, we process our customer payments, okay, then funds disbursements and payroll electronic with banks as the entity, okay, that receives and sends the money, right? Banks are an entity wherein they receive and send the money on our behalf, right? And with that, the bank will send a bank statement to our organization. Okay, a bank statement can be in electronic format, or it can be printed as you receive it in the email. No, you receive your bank statements in your email. Okay,
Yes.
it can be in your electronic format also. Like your electronic format is your ECS. One example I can give you for customers. They give a standing instruction to your bank that you can do an ECS. For my bank loan. So automatically everything, you're suppose if you've taken a loan, you know what ECS is, right? Electronic clearing. You've heard of it? It automatically, the bank cuts, suppose you've taken a loan and your EMI is around 10,000 per month. So automatically on that particular date, it automatically gets deducted from your
It
bank
get
account.
deducted from the
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
yeah. Okay, so that is it. A few people do not want to opt for ECS. What they do is they give all your post-dated checks for 1 year to the bank. So
Okay.
what they do is they go present that check, to the bank. Suppose you have taken a loan in Axis Bank and you have an account in Canara Bank. So what you do is
Okay.
your salary account will be in Canara Bank. So what you do is you take the checks of Canara Bank and go and
Okay.
give the post-dated checks of Canara Bank to Axis Bank where you have taken the loan. So what they do is they'll go and present every month on that. Suppose 5th is the date, on 1st only or 2nd they will present it to the bank, so that by 5th
Okay.
they clear that, and your money is transferred to your Axis Bank home loan, whatever loan account, and it gets deducted on time. right? Whereas electronic transfer is automatic. You just have to, even in the form, when they give the bank loan form, there is an option whether you want to go for an ECS clearance. Okay, so you just have to tick mark and they will enable it in the system, and automatically it will get created, deducted from your account, from your loan account.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the electronic bank statement, right? So same way is the process with our company. If you look into a company's point of view, then you can relate that with it. I was just giving you an example with a person, a person as a customer to the bank, so that you can relate it with a company the way it does. So as I said, a bank statement can be in an electronic format, or it can be printed as you receive it in the mail. Now, if the bank statement was electronic, then it automatically gets loaded, okay, to your cash management. Okay, you can see here, okay, it'll get, you have your payment systems and you have your transmission configuration. You use your URL or protocol, okay, with which it, gets and processed into your electronic bank statements. Okay, whereas if it's manually sent, we can manually input the bank statements into the cash management. This is your bank statement file here. Okay, you will import it and then finally send it to your electronic bank through your electronic bank statement. Okay, that's then once it has been loaded in cash management, the bank statement lines can then be parsed, can be parsed, okay, using rules.
Okay.
There's something called a parse rule, which I'll be explaining it to you in the next slide. But you'll be using those parse rule here. Okay, see here, you can see the parse rule set here. Okay, and then proceed to match the transactions between modules and then reconcile using the automatic reconciliation process. So once reconciled, run create accounting to create the journal entries in the subledger before being transferred over to the general ledger using the subledger accounting process. So basically these are the file formats, as I mentioned, I was just showing, right? BAI2 and ISO and Swift and all that. So it's, they'll something called as a fetch phase, wherein you store all the information, okay, from your database. Then you have this load phase, then you map, you match everything to your interface tables. Then is your import phase, wherein you validate and transform data errors, and then your bank statements will be released and sent to you. Okay, so these are the setup where you have to create a bank account, then you have to set your parse rule, and then you have your transaction type, okay, and your transaction code is all this. These are basically all technical, but it's just for your information that I have put here. Okay, then your bank statements are sent to the company. So this is how it's set. Now let's look into what your parse rule means. Okay, so basically parsing rules are the instructions, okay, that tell the system how to extract data out of a bank statement, okay, for reconciliation purposes, and then creating rules so that you can account for interest in bank fees, etc. So basically Oracle Fusion Cash Management supports parse rule sets to transform data during the bank statement import process. So parse rules are used to move data. Okay, so just let me tell you what parse means. Parse meaning it is usually breaking down of information. Okay, it's defined as to break down something into a understandable format. One second. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay, so parse as a general terminology, it means breaking down something. So now you can relate that parse when we are studying this, reading this definition. Okay, so parse rules are used to move data from one field to another. So the parse rule set is associated to a bank account in the bank account setup. So this parse rule is most commonly used to parse data. Okay, that is how we say it. We use it to parse data, that is breaking down data, right? From the statement line agenda field into more specific statement line fields. So each parse rule, within a parse rule set consists of these fields like sequence. It determines the order in which to process the rules. Then you have the transaction code, which determines the statement line type. Then you have the source and
Okay.
target field, which indicates which field to parse. Then you have a rule,
Okay.
which contains specific syntax, okay, that you need to use in the creation and generation of the rule. And then you have an overwrite field which is used to control whether to overwrite existing data in a target field or to keep parsing the data. Okay, so these are basically, you will be seeing in the instance when we do all that. It is just a explanation of each thing, what it means. Okay, so
Okay.
you'll just have an idea when we do the practicals of it. Okay, so then we have this parse rule syntax I was just mentioning here. See the rule, no? It contains a specific syntax you need to use in the creation and generation of the rule. So now here, this is a parse rule syntax, which is described as follows, which means literal. Okay, this is matching token and then start and end literal. Okay, where literal represents a string or character value represented by an identifier that should match the source data. So this is basically all technical, but to understand what parse rule is, in a very vague manner, we just will go through what it means. Then you have something like matching token, which represents a token or a set of tokens which describes the data to extract. Okay, so there's a table, which lists all these tokens. This is how it looks. See, n means extract a valid number. Then you have this decimal position. And you have something x, which means extract an alphanumeric. Then you have this tilde. Okay, this is called as tilde. You will see this tilde under your escape button on your keyboard, right? Now, when you give this thing, this means extract everything in the source field from the parse position to either the end of the data or up to the next literal. You got the word literal here, which represents a string or character value, right? Literal means that. Then you have something called a start, a position to begin extracting data or offset by the parse position. It must be a valid numeric. Okay, it must be a valid numeric. Then a position to stop extracting data, which means end, can be either a valid numeric or the token. Token is your sign. So let us look into the example. Now extract check number from a source field. Now the source data is account number 1005. The rule is account number is, within the bracket, you'll put it as extract an alphanumeric. X means what? It's an alphanumeric, and tilde is your extract everything in the source field, okay, from the parse position, and the target data is 1005. So you'll be extracting the account number, okay, from an alphanumeric data, okay, and you'll be extracting the whole information till the end of the data. Okay, so this is what it means. So this is how you do a parse rule setup. Okay, so there's another example where you value data from a source field. This is your source field, which is a receipt. Okay, then again you're given in description. This is the rule that you're setting. Okay, so this is your target data saved this date. This is an old example. So basically, it will give a rule saying that you have to do the payment of the receipts till your month of January 2011. Okay, or the day receipts were received on that particular date. So it can be, whatever rule you want to set, you can always do a setup. You can do a parse rule setup in your system in the cache management, and accordingly it will do it. Okay, so that is what it, in general terms, it means. Okay, so this is what parse rule means. So this was whole of your cache management in a nutshell. So anyways, when we do the practicals, cache management will be more into your AR also. So there's not much of a setup in it except these rules and validations that you need to give. That's all, and it is okay. So any doubts anywhere? Yeah. Yeah, Ravi, you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you're clear. Adurai, what about you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so that is it for today. And tomorrow I'll be taking FA. So we'll be finishing with all the theory part. And Sunday we'll be doing the practicals, because we are facing a lot of issues with the, okay, let me just